Today's episode, I'm going to be going through my packing for Ultraman. This is going to cover probably 90% of everything I'm going to pack. The only thing you're not going to see here is probably the wheels, because I'm packing everything into my living room and I don't want to have six dirty bike wheels laying around in the living room for another 4 days, and also the hitch on my car. But I'll put that in a separate video, loading up my car and so on. That'll come little bit later. But apart from that, everything you see here is going to be going into the pile, so to speak, and going to Florida in the car. The reason I'm taking 6 wheels is because I'm loaning a set to somebody down there, so I'm actually only taking 2 sets of wheels. The disc wheel has to go in the back of the car because it can't go on my hitch. So this is pretty much everything. Getting my stuff ready, I'm starting off the bike. So this is my race chain. I'd cleaned it, I'd waxed it previously, but I hadn't cleaned all the wax off. So I had to go through and dig all the wax out of each point. I don't really bother getting rid of the wax from the outside of the chain. It doesn't really matter. A lot of the loose stuff will break off quickly. In terms of my bike over here, these were loose. I had to put new zip ties on them and cable tie. You can kind of see under there. Probably should replace those screws. Just here, they're a bit rusty. It's not going to focus, is it? My saddle. This has been the bane of my existence. I'm actually taking it off, because if I can come around this other side, you can see the measurements here. So I've got it measured, so it should be at this particular point. This is the worst bloody zoom camera ever. There's a line here, it should be at this point. It slides just a touch forward, so it never clamps properly. I don't know what the problem is. I've taken it to the bike store, but so I have to put duct tape and then clamp the duct tape so it doesn't slide, and it tends to last about 6 months. Generally I have the seat just a touch sort of poking forward, like maybe like that. So it's not completely flat, because I spend most of the time aero sitting on this position, so I have this tilted down more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off and put new duct tape on and then clamp it back down again. It's going in the store tomorrow anyway, so I'll raise it with the guys at the store again. One thing I'm starting to think is maybe this rail is not the same size as the clamp. Like, it might be a millimeter difference, so when you clamp it down it doesn't quite hold properly. So I might be able to get a new clamp or something like that, but I'll see what they say. As you can see with my bike, I've gone back to the aero. I decided what I'm going to do is have one aero bottle, because my aero bottles are the perfect size from Morton, exactly right at 500 mils. So I got 2 of them, so I just alternate. My crew will have one, I'll have one. So I'll pass them one and they can top it up, so the next stop they can give it back to me. And I can switch it, because this one will be empty, and I'm just going to carry a normal drink bottle in here, because I thought better to be lighter. And originally I had one here where I was going to carry tools, but I don't need to carry tools because I got my crew, so they can carry the tools for me. It just means that if I break down I have to wait a little bit longer. But I do have a bit of a juggling thing to do here, because I'm 90% certain I'm going to use a disc wheel, which has got an 1132 cassette on it. All my wheels are the same. They're these Head Jet 6. This is my road bike, but this one's an 1128 cassette. My other 1132 cassette is here on the trainer, because I keep the same cassette on my trainer as I use it when I race my bike. So I've got to take this cassette off here, put it on my road bike, because that's going to be my spare set of wheels. Then I'm going to take that cassette off there, put it on the trainer, so that I can then put my road bike on the trainer so I can keep riding while it's gone. So I'm going to be taking, well, actually 3 sets of wheels, but I'm taking 2 sets of the Head Jet 6. One's going to have, if I go in here, one's going to be the disc wheel. This is the 1132 cassette on there already. And then there's the other. I'm taking a spare set, a 3rd set, but that's some other. And there's another competitor that needs a spare set I'm going to take for him to borrow. this is how I prepare and get everything ready. So this is a spreadsheet taken from Google Docs. So what I do, I keep a notepad in my phone, and every time I think of something, I add it to the notepad. So then when I come home, I add it to the spreadsheet. So you can see along the top, car is stuff that's going to be going in the car. Medicine, obviously self-explanatory. These headlines are basically just things that I'm going to put in specific places. So, for example, medicine will go in the medicine box. Nutrition will go in the nutrition box. The three swim bike runs are a bit different because I usually chuck everything in one big box, and I intend to bring it out each day. General is stuff that I don't really have a specific place for, but it needs to go. And personal is basically for your travel, so my toothbrush, chargers and things like that, glasses, sunglasses, medicine, retainers, basically stuff that will go into my mini suitcase or mini bag or whatever I decide to use. It's not really part of the actual event, but is necessary. So what I'm going to go and do is find all this stuff and put it somewhere so that once it's there, it doesn't move. And once I've got it and I've put it there, then I use a pen and cross it out, so that sort of before I leave, I pick up the sheet and everything should be crossed, which means it's packed and ready to go. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll also circle something and highlight it, which means it's kind of important, but I need to use it before then. And there are a few things as well that I don't always use. So over time, this becomes a generic sheet, and some of these things are not always relevant to the event that I'm doing. So you can see in swimming, I've got thermal cap and thermal boots. So when I go to Lake Placid later in the year, for example, I just straight away cross those out immediately because I'm not taking thermal stuff to Lake Placid. And so this just ensures that I don't forget anything. But what I'm going to do first is the bike stuff, because my bike is going in the store tomorrow. As you saw before, I put my road bike on the trainer, so I'm going to put my other bike in the store just for going over to make sure there's no loose wires or anything like that, just to double check. So all of the stuff is pretty safe. It can start to get packed away. Obviously the stuff that I'm going to wear, the helmet, shoes, bibs, might not be, but I'm kind of aiming to pack the toolbox for now. So this is what's going in the orange toolbox. Before I get to that, this is our second cat. You always see the other cat in the videos. This one just hides all day. It's the most antisocial thing you've ever seen. So this is a pretty rare appearance for her. But back to the tools. So what I'm taking, a spare tube. I run tubeless. Actually, that reminds me, I've got to put sealant in here. That's not on my list. I run tubeless tires, but just in case something goes catastrophically wrong in 2 sets, I have a spare tube. Tool for removing the chain. I'll probably drive down there without the chain on my bike. Just to make it extra hard for anybody that wants to steal the bike off the back of my car, and also so it doesn't, if there's any weather, then it's not going to affect it. And now we've got two. Proof that we have two cats. We'll get those. This is just a general lithium grease, like whenever I put pedals on or anything like that, I always put a little bit in between so that the screw parts don't rust. Zip ties for whatever, I don't even have a specific reason for them, but they always come in handy. Pedal wrench for switching between pedals. This is a specific size wrench for tightening my seat. As I mentioned previously, my seat is just non-stop problems all the time. A set of Allen keys, just for adjustments. Spare chain with chain links inside, so I'm going to take 2 chains. I was thinking of 3, but I've never broken a chain before. If I got to the point where I was breaking 3 chains, then something's out to get me and I'm probably not going to finish. Spare derailleur. The only reason I'm taking that is because it's basically all ready to go in a plastic bag, and I kind of think, what's the worst case scenario? I was talking to the bike mechanic, and he says, well, I was asking him about taking 2 bikes, and he said, well, if your first bike's sort of catastrophically damaged where you need a second bike, you're probably not going to finish anyway, because you're probably sitting on that bike and the frame cracked or something like that. Maybe a derailleur breaks. You could take a derailleur, so I am. These are my riding glasses. As you can see, they come with 3 different lenses. They're very easy to change between depending on the weather. These are what I use for riding with my friends. I actually use an aero helmet with a visor on, but just in case I want to remove the visor for whatever reason and just ride with this instead. I'm taking 2 helmets. So if I was to switch off from the aero helmet to the other helmet, then I would need those glasses. Two rear lights, 2 front lights. Had to go and buy these specifically for the event. This is a pretty good condition light. It's USB chargeable, so I'm going to put it on my mountain bike for riding to the pool once this whole event's finished. And finally, this is just a toolbox. Has another spare tube in there, the tire levers for changing, a multi-tool. I'm not going to need those gas, but at no point taking them out, and plugs, tubeless plugs. And there's also another tubeless repair kit in here as well, in case I need it. So that's all going in the box, and that's my toolkit that I'm going to be using. Upstairs now, and I've got these boxes you get from Home Depot for like $8. A friend gave me about 40 of them to move house, and I just kept most of them. You can see they're pretty big. So what I'm going to do, they stack on top of each other. I'm going to stack all my stuff inside probably 2 of these, and just slide them into the car, so that each day this will be like my gear that I require. So there'll be like one of those boxes, not this box, but a small box for say medicine and nutrition. Another box for, this will hold my spare helmet, for example, when I'm riding, as well as changes of bibs and things like that. So, but I'm going to use it to cart things down there. So I go in here. My wetsuit, I've been soaking it in the tub because I always just soak it for a period of time. So that goes in there. Also got this thermal swim cap, chuck that in. These are neoprene swim socks that I bought. Chuck those in. So then I'll cross off on this list that they're packed away because they're going to be in the box. Tri-suit. I'm going to wear the tri-suit under my wetsuit so that I'll wear it on the bike on day 1. That's the club one. This is just a bag that I'm going to put nutrition in. I've also got a body glide and 3 pairs of goggles. This is like my emergency pair. This is a prescription pair because I can't see crap without glasses, so I've got to find my kayaker. So what I intend to do is wear these at the start so I can find him. Then once I've found him, I'm going to switch these more comfortable mirrored Roka ones, or these ones depending on what the weather is like. You can see ones for shaded, and these are not shaded, but most likely the Rokas. As you can see, I'm slowly working through crossing stuff off. I've got a helper here, just follows me everywhere. So I've got 2 pairs of calf compression sleeves. Actually, there's one missing, so I've got to find the other one. Good quality control there, but I might wear these on the bike because they've got these reflective things, so I've got to find the other one. 4 pairs of socks. These are those supposedly aero socks for bikes. These are ankle socks. And I got 2 pairs of just normal Zoot. I think they're 6-inch socks. Normally I wear these 9 times out of 10. I just bring a pair of ankle ones. These are from Defeat, just in case, like, I want to change something completely different. So I got 3 options. I'll probably add 2. I'll add 2 more pairs because I want to run during the week. So that's all my socks covered. They all go in there. I got running headband, 2 pairs of cycling bibs. These are arm guards that protect from the sun, but you can also sprinkle them with water and they cool you down. Another headband. I got 3 running hats that I can switch between. I like to wear these ones that don't have visors, so my head's not restricted, but they're really good at wicking sweat away from the face. My Sam Long swim shorts, so that I can get in some swims during the week, and nipple covers for the run. I've got a New Zealand flag. They want you to maybe, I don't know, carry that across the line or something. My running race belt that put the number on. I think I need that for the bike as well. I'm taking 3 or 4 heart rate monitor straps. Whenever I take multiples, I always take a different one. So you can see I got 2 blues and a black. I just take the different one just in case there's an issue, because the other ones are exactly the same. Gives me an option to change something. This is a running raincoat, a cycling raincoat, cycling undershirt that wicks sweat away. I'll wear this on the second day. This is my cycling shirt that I'll wear on the second day. My wife bought it for me. It's kind of like my lucky shirt, a Rafa shirt. In terms of running, I've got a pair of the inner 6-inch inner tights with a pair of shorts. But what I'm going to wear as my primary is these 9-inch trail shorts from Solomon. I've been wearing them for my long runs and they're quite comfortable. So I just got an emergency pair just in case. Then I've got the club singlet. This is actually the wrong one. This is a t-shirt and another t-shirt, but I'll add an extra singlet. So I got 2 singlets and a t-shirt. I just found this Vaseline in my gear, so I'm going to take that as well. So downstairs I've stuffed 2 pairs of running shoes. I've got 1 more pair to get in there. 2 pairs of cycling shoes, 2 helmets, my running vest, and then this box is full of gear. And I'll probably have 1 more box. I don't know if I'll get one this big for all the nutrition and stuff. The last things to add to the box are these arm warmers and leg warmers. I'm just going for not the full set, just these ones, because they're quick to get on and quick to get off, just in case it's really cold when I get out the water, because I've spent 3.5 hours in freezing temperatures. And these are riding gloves. They're made of neoprene, but they're not too hot, but they're just enough to keep my hands warm. And they're mainly waterproof, so just in case I experience a lot of rain or something and I get sick of my hands getting wet, I can pack those as well. But I'd wear those with the arm warmers in the morning, because if it's hot in the afternoon I don't really care about my hands getting wet. This is my nutrition. So this box comes from one of my daughter's storage shelves. I chucked the shelves in the garbage. For some reason kept the boxes and never threw them. They're going to come in handy. So I've got a box of Stroop waffles, 40 of those in there. That's more than enough. 18 packets of Morton powder. That's the 160 drink mix. On the bike, I'll take 1 per hour. So that's probably 4 to 5 hours on day 1 and maybe 9 to 10 on day 2. So I'm looking at about 15 to 16 of these on the bike at the most, because I kind of get sick of them after a while, so I'll stop taking them, I guess. But then I need some for the run as well. Into the box also these bottles, or these feed bottles. You can see they don't like the dishwasher, but they're a good size. Chuck 3 of those in there. The other bottle I'm going to use is these Aero bottles, because they're exactly 500 mils. So 2 of those. The idea being that I'll just carry 1 on the bike filled with Morton, while my crew will have the other one. The other one will be filled with Morton and ready to go, so when I stop I just switch them over. Shaker bottle to make my breakfast each day. Breakfast is this Kyoku. I love this stuff. I always take it before events. It's a good mix of I don't know what, but it's like a breakfast type thing. I also have 5 packets of instant oats for my breakfast. I'm going to put this funnel in there just to help the crew to get water into these bottles faster if they want it. I've shown elsewhere in other videos, these are the goo pouches that I use. Carry 1 in my pocket, so on the bike I'll have 1 in my back. It's the only thing I'll have in my pocket. 7 serves. Beetroot juice I'll take for breakfast as well. 2 tubes of Science and Sport hydration. I prefer these to Noon because I find that the flavors are nicer, and also importantly, I mean Noon has it as well, but this is coal with caffeine. That's on the bike, that's my sole source of caffeine besides coffee. I'm going to have a thermos for espresso. In terms of nutrition for the goop out, I'm going to have one more of these, so this is 15. There's 2 more coming on Friday, so I'll probably bring all 3. That'll give me up to 45 serves of this stuff. That should be enough. Then I've got snack bars here, so Cliff bars and also these fig bars that I get from Costco. Just to they're not part of my nutrition plans, so to speak. They're just more for a change up if I feel like something different. For the run, I've got I think 6 of these Morton gels. I always use these things on the run. I've got 6 of these elements. I drink these before the event, so I'm going to need 3 of them. That gives me 3 spares just in case. And then just to change things up, I got liquid IV in there as well, just for something different to drink, a different flavor. And I also find it really refreshing. That's the last element, so that's the nutrition that I'm going to be taking. So what I'm going to do, I've got a couple of smaller ones of these. So each day I'm going to see if I can make the smaller one to take in the car, because I mean my crew doesn't want to stare at this mess. And I'll just get out what's required. You can see the pile starting to get bigger now. What I've added here, a couple of camp chairs for my crew, so that they can, if they have to sit and wait for me, then they've got something to sit on instead of sitting in the car all the time. They can get some fresh air. I've got my GoPro with its accessories. That's just a bag of electricals, so I've got charging cables and so on in there. First aid kit for the car. This is a small cooler box. I put this on the passenger seat in the front for my drive down. I fill it up with iced coffees, sparkling waters, anything that has to be cold for the drive, so I can just reach over and grab it as I'm driving. And this is a big cooler box to go in the back of the car for whatever snacks and so on that's going to be in there. The only things missing, as I mentioned at the start, was wheels, my hitch. I still have to pack a kettle. I'm taking a kettle so I can brew the yerba mate, but the pot that the jug that the yerba mate goes in, Fee from my crew is providing that, so I'll get it when I'm down there. But that's it. This is all going in the car along with my bike.